नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली अला रसूलिहिल करीम अम्मा बाद फ़अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम. Today's topic of discussion is chicken pox. I am Dr. Fatma Dalal Chaudhary and I am going to present my topic under the kind supervision of Professor Dr. Sara Afzal, who is our dean. Quote of the day is for every one of us. Your best quote that reflects your approach is it's one small step for man, but one giant leap for mankind, as said Neil Armstrong while he landed on the moon. Learning outlines for today's topic are chickenpox, its causative agent, prevalence of it, symptoms and signs, the complications, diagnosis, management, shingles and chickenpox in pregnancy, recent updates, MCQs and an open forum discussion. Learning objectives are at the end of the presentation, the participant should at least be able to identify chickenpox, its common type of lesions, common patterns followed, signs and symptoms, common complications, shingles, and immunization protocol. Chickenpox is an illness caused by the varicella zoster virus. It brings on an itchy rash with small fluid-filled blisters. Chickenpox spreads very easily to people who haven't had the disease or haven't gotten the chickenpox vaccine. Chickenpox used to be a widespread problem, but today the vaccine protects children from it. Now, what are the characteristics of a chickenpox lesion? As you can clearly identify from the picture given, with chickenpox, an itchy rash breaks out mostly on the face, the scalp, chest, back, with some spots on the arms and legs. The spots quickly fill with a clear fluid, break open, and then turn crusty. Chickenpox is an illness which is caused by the varicella zoster virus, and it brings on an itchy rash with small fluid-filled blisters. Most often, healthcare providers find out that anyone having a chickenpox could be diagnosed based on the rash. The chickenpox rash can be very itchy, and broken blisters called vesicles sometimes sting. Chickenpox lesion, a characteristic chickenpox lesion consists of an early lesion which consists of small red papules which quickly fill with a yellowish or straw-colored fluid to form small blisters or vesicles, as seen in this photograph as I have shown previously. Later, these vesicles will rupture, forming shallow erosions that crust over and then ultimately heal. Now, what are the symptoms for a rash to be followed with? The rash caused by chickenpox appears 10 to 21 days after you are exposed to the varicella zoster virus. The rash often lasts about 5 to 10 days. Other symptoms that may appear 1 to 2 days before the rash include fever, loss of appetite, headache, tiredness, and a general feeling of being unwell. Once the chickenpox rash appears, it goes through 3 phases. Raised bumps called papules, which breaks out over a few days. Small fluid-filled blisters called vesicles, which form in about 1 day and then break and leak. Crusts and scabs, which cover the broken blisters and take a few more days to heal. New bumps keep showing up for several days, so you may have bumps, blisters, and scabs at the same time. You can spread the virus to other people for about up to 48 hours before the rash appears, and the virus stays contagious until all broken blisters have crusted over. The disease is by and large mild in healthy children, but sometimes the rash can cover the whole body. Blisters may form in the throat and the eyes. They may also form in tissue that lines the inside of the urethra, anus, and vagina. Now, diagnosis. Varicella is a nationally notifiable disease in the United States. It's a document by CDC, often based on an appropriate exposure history and the presence of a generalized maculopapulovesicular rash. The clinical diagnosis of varicella in the United States has become increasingly challenging because A growing number of cases now occur in unvaccinated people in whom disease is mild and the rash is also mild. For diagnosis, we would be using either nucleic acid amplification testing. For laboratory confirmation, skin lesions are the preferred specimen source. Vesicular swabs or scrapings and scabs from crusted lesions can be used to identify the varicella zoster virus DNA by PCR testing, the preferred method because it is the most sensitive and specific, or direct fluorescent antibody. In the absence of vesicles or scabs, collect scrapings of maculopapular lesions for testing. Serological testing can also be used to confirm disease but are less reliable than PCR or direct fluorescent antibody methods for virus identification. A substantial rise in serum varicella IgG titers from acute and convalescent phase samples by any standard serological assay can confirm a diagnosis retrospectively. These antibody tests might not be reliable in immunocompromised people. Additionally, in vaccinated people, baseline IgG levels might be high, thus, a four-fold increase in convalescent serum samples might not be achieved. Of note, testing for varicella zoster IgM by using commercial kit is not recommended because available methods lack sensitivity and specificity, and false positive IgM results are common in the presence of high IgG levels. A positive IgM also doesn't distinguish between primary infection and reactivation. Uh, Now, what are the causes to get a chickenpox infection? A virus called varicella zoster, as already been told, causes chickenpox. It can spread through direct contact with the rash. It can also spread when a person with chickenpox coughs or sneezes and you breathe in the air droplets. What are the risk factors? Your risk of getting infected with a virus that causes chickenpox is higher if you haven't already had chickenpox or if you haven't had the chickenpox vaccine. It's extra important for the people who work in the child care or school settings to be vaccinated. Uh, Most people who have had chickenpox or have gotten the vaccine are immune to chickenpox. If you haven't been vaccinated and still get chickenpox, symptoms are often milder. You may have fever, blisters, and mild or no fever. A few people can get chickenpox more than once, but this is rare. Now, what are the complications? Chickenpox is often a mild disease, but it can be serious and can lead to other health problems, including infected skin, soft tissues, bones, joints, or bloodstream caused by bacteria. Dehydration, when the body runs too low on water and other fluids. Pneumonia, an illness in one or both the lungs. Swelling of the brain called encephalitis. Toxic shock syndrome, a dangerous complication of some illnesses caused by bacteria. Reese syndrome, a disease that causes swelling in the brain and liver. This can happen in children and teens who take aspirin during chickenpox. In very rare cases, chickenpox could lead to death. Now, what are the at-risk population? People who are at higher risk of chickenpox complications include uh, newborns and infants whose mothers have never had chickenpox or the vaccine. This includes children under age 1 who have not yet had the vaccine, teens and adults, pregnant women who haven't had chickenpox, people who smoke, people with cancer or HIV who are taking medication that has an effect on the immune system, people with a chronic condition such as asthma who take medicine that calms immune response, or those who have had an organ transplant and take medicine to limit the immune system's action. Chickenpox and pregnancy. Low birth weight and limb problems are more common in babies born to women who are infected with chickenpox early in their pregnancies. When a pregnant person catches chickenpox in the weeks before birth or within a couple of days after giving birth, the baby has a higher risk of getting a life-threatening infection. For a mother never being immunized with chickenpox vaccine or contracted chickenpox, acyclovir is the treatment of choice for symptomatic management. Varicella zoster immunoglobulins uh, can be given in severe life-threatening forms, and continuous fetal monitoring and severe cases of varicella zoster immunoglobulin can be given right after the birth. Chickenpox and shingles. If you have had chickenpox, you are at risk of a complication called shingles. The varicella zoster virus stays in your nerve cells after the chickenpox rash goes away. Many years later, the virus can turn back on and cause shingles. a painful cluster of blisters. The virus is more likely to come back in older adults and people who have weaker immune systems. It typically presents as a painful blistering rash that occurs along a nerve distribution or a dermatome. Post-herpetic neuralgia management, which is caused by the shingles. For this, the medicines given are gabapentin or pregabalin, lidocaine or capsaicin patches, low-dose opioids for severe refractory cases. Shingles vaccine, available by name of Shingrix, is used in the United States. In the United States, the Centers for CDC suggests you should get the shingles vaccine, Shingrix, if you are 50 or older. The agency also suggests that Shingrix if you are 19 years or older and you have a weaker immune system because of diseases or treatments. Shingrix is recommended even if you've already had shingles or you have gotten the older shingle vaccine, Zostavax. Transmission: chickenpox is transmitted from person to person by directly touching the blisters, saliva, or mucus of an infected person. The virus can also be transmitted through the air by coughing and sneezing. Now, these are the latest recommendations as latest as September 2024 by CDC. Chickenpox vaccine is 2 doses of the chickenpox vaccine are recommended for children by doctors as the best way to protect against chickenpox. People who never had chickenpox or received chickenpox vaccine should get 2 doses. Most people who get the vaccine will be protected for life and not get chickenpox. The best way to protect against chickenpox is to get the chickenpox vaccine. The chickenpox vaccine prevents almost all cases of severe illness instead of MMRV. Some children might receive separate vaccines for MMR and varicella. If a vaccinated person doesn't get chickenpox called a breakthrough chickenpox, the symptoms are usually mild. Vaccinated people often experience fewer to no blisters and low or no fever, but red spots may occur. Varivax is the name of the commonly used chickenpox vaccine, and Procod is another generic name, trade name. People 13 years and older who never had chickenpox or received chickenpox vaccine should get 2 doses. The dose should be at least 28 days apart. People should also get a second dose if they have had only one chickenpox dose instead of MMRV. Some children might receive separate vaccines for MMR and varicella. Why getting vaccinated is important? Chickenpox is usually mild, however, it can be serious during pregnancy in infants under 12 months old, adolescents, adults, and people with weakened immune systems. Who should get vaccinated? Everyone should get 2 doses of chickenpox vaccine if they never had chickenpox or were never vaccinated. Chickenpox vaccination is especially important for healthcare professionals, anyone who cares for or are near people with weakened immune systems, residents and staff in nursing homes and other residential settings, teachers, clinical workers, and any childcare workers, and anyone living with the children. College students, inmates, and staff of correctional institutions, international travelers, and military personnel. Who shouldn't get vaccinated? Some people should not get chickenpox vaccine or they should wait. People should check with their healthcare provider if they have HIV or AIDS or another disease that affects the immune system, are being treated with drugs that affect the immune system for 2 weeks or more, have any kind of cancer, are getting cancer treatment with radiation or drugs, recently had a transfusion or were given any other blood products, are pregnant or may be pregnant. Now these are the CDC recommendations for the chickenpox vaccine. As you can see in the second last line, we'll be giving 1 dose and then the second dose as recommended. Now time for the recent updates. It's an article which is being published in the BMC Public Health, the epidemiology of varicella and effectiveness of varicella vaccine in Guinea, China, a long-term community surveillance study. Abstract says that real-world data of long-term protection under moderate vaccination coverage is limited. This study aimed to evaluate varicella epidemiology and the long-term effectiveness under moderate coverage levels in Ganao district, city Jiangsu province. This was a population-based retrospective birth cohort study based on the Immunization Information System and the National Notifiable Disease Surveillance System in Geno district. Varicella cases were reported there. Now, what were the conclusions? Conclusions drawn that the insufficient vaccination coverage, about 37.1%, may have contributed in part to the rising annual incidence of varicella infection, and a shift of varicella cases to older age groups occurred. The effectiveness of one dose of varicella vaccine was moderate and waned over time. It is urgent to increase the varicella vaccine coverage to 80% to reduce the incidence of varicella as against 37.1% and prevent any potential shift in the age at infection in China. Now, this is another article which is being published in Lancet: National and Provincial Burden of Varicella Disease and Cost Effectiveness of Childhood Varicella Vaccination in China from 2019 to 2049, a modeling analysis. In China, varicella is the third most reported vaccine preventable infectious disease after tuberculosis and influenza, and imposes a heavy burden on families and societies. To inform the future immunization policy, we investigated disease burden of varicella in China and explored cost effectiveness of different varicella vaccination strategies at national and provincial levels. Methods were a dynamic transmission model was developed to assess disease burden of varicella and the impact of varicella vaccination in China. A cost effectiveness analysis of the alternative vaccination strategies in China's national immunization program compared with no vaccination was conducted. Scenario analysis and sensitivity analysis were performed to check the robustness of the results. Interpretation: varicella incident cases were substantially underreported in China. Varicella vaccination in the NIP could significantly contribute to reducing the burden of varicella disease. From the societal perspective, including varicella vaccination into China's NIP was highly cost effective at the national level and in most provinces. This is another document provided by WHO about the varicella and its prevalence around. Varicella or chickenpox is an acute, highly contagious disease caused by varicella zoster virus, a member of the herpes virus family. Only one serotype of varicella zoster is known, and humans are the only reservoir. Following infection, the virus remains latent in neural ganglia, and in about 10 to 20% of cases, it is reactivated. If it is reactivated, it causes herpes zoster or shingles, generally in persons over 50 years of age or immunocompromised individuals. Varicella zoster virus infection transmission occurs via droplets, aerosols, or direct contact with respiratory secretions, and almost always produces clinical disease in susceptible individuals. While mostly a mild disorder in childhood, varicella tends to be more severe in adults. The infection may occasionally be complicated by pneumonia or encephalitis, inflammation of the brain, at times with serious or fatal consequences. Shingles is a painful rash that may occasionally result in permanent damage to the nerves or visual impairment. It is relatively common in HIV-infected persons, sometimes with fatal consequences. Varicella vaccines. Current varicella vaccines are attenuated vaccines based on the OKAVZV strain that has been modified through sequential propagation in different cell cultures. The attenuated strain is grown in cell culture, purified, and lyophilized. Reconstituted vaccine is injected subcutaneously. No WHO reference materials for varicella vaccine are currently available. It is as recent as September 2024. Now, jumping on to our MCQ session. MCQ number 1 states that a 7-year-old child presents with fever and a pruritic rash that started on the trunk and spread to the extremities. Lesions are seen in multiple stages, including macules, papules, vesicles, and crusts. Which finding would confirm the diagnosis of chickenpox? PCR for varicella zoster virus, positive rapid influenza diagnostic test, or elevated CRP, enlarged tonsils on physical examination, or positive infringement test. This we have discussed in the very few slides. Very first. Yeah, A is the right answer. MCQ number 2. A 5-year-old immunocompromised child is diagnosed with chickenpox. Which of the following management steps is most appropriate to prevent severe complications? Number A is prescribing acetaminophen alone for fever control, initiating intravenous cyclovir therapy immediately, administering a second dose of the varicella vaccine, recommending isolation and no further treatment, and aspirin administration. Now, acetaminophen and aspirin are two different things, as per my knowledge. 5-year-old immunocompromised child. So we would like to give him or initiate an immediate intravenous cyclovir therapy, as he is very young and immunocompromised. So we would like to treat the symptoms first. So B choice is the right answer. MCQ number 3. A 14-year-old with chickenpox presents with worsening headache, vomiting, and altered mental status. CT imaging reveals cerebral edema, which is the most likely diagnosis. A. Varicella encephalitis, meningococcal meningitis, post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis. Yes, varicella encephalitis, which we have discussed in the very first few slides, it's a common complication. MCQ number 4. Varicella zoster virus establishes latency in which of the following areas after the primary chickenpox infection? Is a peripheral blood, mononuclear cells, dorsal root ganglia, liver and spleen, thymus. Yeah, dorsal root ganglia. B is the right answer. MCQ number 5. Which feature of the chickenpox rash distinguishes it from other viral exanthems? Petechial rash, primarily on the extremities. Like which kind of rash does it mostly present with? Vesicular rash with lesions at different stages of development. Maculopapular rash starting from face and spreading. Answer would be B. Vesicular rash with lesions at different stages of development. MCQ number 6. A healthcare worker was exposed to a confirmed chickenpox case but has no history of vaccination or disease. What is the best post-exposure prophylaxis option? Immediate administration of IVA cyclovir, varicella zoster immune globulin within 96 hours of exposure. No intervention is required. Start oseltamivir within 48 hours, or do not do anything except rehydration. It's a healthcare worker. Varicella zoster immune globulin within 96 hours of exposure. It's a standard protocol for post-exposure prophylaxis world over. MCQ number 7. Which of the following best describes the benefit of the varicella vaccine? It completely prevents varicella infection in all vaccinated individuals. It reduces the severity of disease and prevents complications like encephalitis. It eliminates the risk of latent varicella zoster virus reactivation. It requires annual boosters for. Sorry, it requires. Answer is it reduces the severity of disease and prevents complications like encephalitis. It's B. Because completely prevents the varicella infection in all vaccinated individuals is not possible. MCQ number 8. A 2-year-old child presents with a febrile rash illness. The rash began on the face and spread downwards, including palms and soles. There are no vesicles and Kaplik spots are noted in the oral mucosa. What is the most likely diagnosis? Chickenpox, measles, rubella, hand, foot and mouth disease, or smallpox? This is for your differential. A. I don't feel like, because the pathognomic sign, the Koplik spots are being mentioned, so it is B. It is not chickenpox. MCQ number 9. A child with chickenpox is admitted to the hospital. What infection control measures is most appropriate? Droplet precautions only, standard precautions only, airborne and contact precautions, protective isolation, or quarantine? C. Yes, C. MCQ number 10. A 5-year-old child presents with a fever, malaise, and an itchy rash that began on the trunk and has spread to the face and extremities over the last 2 days. The lesions are at different stages, including macules, papules, vesicles, and pus. Which is the most likely diagnosis, and which of the following is the characteristic feature of this disease? A. Measles, a confluent rash starting from the hairline. Rubella, a maculopapular rash with post-auricular lymphadenopathy. Chickenpox, a vesicular rash with lesions in multiple stages of evolution, hand, foot, and mouth. C is the right answer. It's chickenpox, a vesicular rash with lesions in multiple stages of evolution. This is the key table of key for our MCQs. And at the end of the presentation, I would like to thank you all, especially ma'am, for bearing with me.
Thank you so much, Madam Fatima. Would you please like to close the recording so that I can give my feedback?
Yeah, ma'am.